ever been any gigs that you've like declined?
I have like artists that I don't play. Like I don't
Of
play
course.
R. Kelly.
Of course.
So
yes.
that's like a hard no for me. And
What's going on, y'all? It is the your aunt Amanda B.
Yep, that's me.
Welcome back to the Aunt and the Uncle podcast. I am half of the host of the Aunt and the Uncle podcast. If you look around, the uncle is not here. That means we got some good juice. We got some good jams going on. We are still recording in Petty Cash Studios. Don't even trip, Chocolate Chip. We are still in Petty Cash Studios. Make sure you follow. Make sure if you have a bomb-ass podcast, if you have a shitty podcast, you come to Petty Cash. Get your ass to Petty Cash. Let my guests introduce themselves, because I got a bomb guest coming on. You know what? I just aged myself. Let me go ahead and let her introduce herself. Come on, girl.
hello, everyone. My name is Moonflower. I am a DJ, MC, all things mystical, sensual, vibe curation.
Yes. Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so juiced. Time flies. I feel like I've known you forever.
I know it does feel like forever.
It does feel like forever. The first time we met was at we did Moonflower Monday.
Yes, Moonflower Mondays. Yes, you brought the cart and the
Yes,
goodies.
we got the goodies. We still got the goodies. Don't
I
trip.
was just excited to support a Black couple. And you came and supported me,
Exactly.
a Black woman DJ. So it was just felt like a lot of love in the room.
Exactly. Well, you know it's always love, and you know it's good business when we stick around.
Yes.
Because you know you've DJ'd every event you can make it to. You've DJ'd.
Yes.
And if you haven't came out to any of Moonflower's events, you slacking. Okay, you're slacking or you're macking.
Where you at?
So we better see you at the next one.
Come through.
Especially downtown Disney.
Come on.
We can't wait. So I met you as Moonflower.
Yes.
Okay. But you know, how did Moonflower, how was she born?
Oh,
I met you as Moonflower, but I saw you were a little college graduate at one time.
Yeah. I mean, I resonate with the moon in the way of like, we go through different phases in life. And so I had my phase of, being a very dedicated student, and, I got my master's degree in clinical psychology. And the plan originally was to go all the way through and get my doctorate and, do therapy. But as time reveals itself, you get to know yourself. And I just was not impressed with the life that I had crafted out for myself. And fortunately, I believe in the power of change. And so I just, piece by piece, tweaked things, anything that gave me heart palpitations had to go.
Okay.
And, but it's been a journey. There's been a lot of sides to me over the years.
Okay. So when did when did we start doing a DJ? Because you said you have many phases of Moonflower. So what was the first edition to Moonflower? I should ask.
The first edition of Moonflower was just simply like so one of our connections is cannabis, right?
Yes.
Can we talk about cannabis?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, please.
Okay, so I started smoking weed in my later 20s, and I started seeing everything different, because of it. Colors became more vibrant. I started embracing nature in a way that I never had before. And so I just got really spiritual and very in tune with like just trying to really figure out who I was and like what my pleasures were, what were my interests, my true interests were. I feel like for a lot of our life, we're kind of like mimicking what is around us, even if it's not intentional. But, at some point you go, wait a minute, maybe I don't like this. Maybe my homegirls were really into this, or maybe my mom and dad or family or whatever, but maybe this doesn't really serve me. And so I feel like I was just at that place. And so I'm a Cancer. I'm born in July. And so through astrology, they call us a moon child. And so I don't always want to necessarily, I like to beat to the pattern of my own drum. So I was like, well, I can't be Moonchild. Like, what would I be? And then I was like, oh, Moonflower, just because I started gravitating to Mother Earth in that way. And I don't know, just through the coming up with that name, I don't know if it was kind of like my Sasha Fierce moment. Like, you know how like Beyonce is Beyonce, but even for Beyonce, she had to craft Sasha Fierce so she could really tap in to the next level. And so I think for, you know, me, unbeknownst to myself, once I had the name Moonflower, I kind of started just crafting who that was, and I was able to start becoming creative, expressing myself in different ways. So I went through a painting phase. I've published a book, a poetry book.
Yep, get it on Amazon, y'all. Get it on Amazon.
It is available. Yeah, you know, so I was just at a place in my life because I was so scholarly and like, you know, pursuing academia in the way that I was. I needed a break and I wanted to be creative. And so I feel like because Moonflower bloomed in the way that she did, it was just an opportunity to explore my creative side.
Okay, absolutely. Yeah. Do you ever like think of the life, like the regular, I call it corporate life because I also lived a long corporate life myself. Do you ever think about that life while you're putting on your fit for the next journey?
I mean, I think there's safety and security in having like that stable income. And so, of course, that's attractive to me because I don't like stress. Right. You know, life is anxious enough. Yeah. So you might as well financially try to be as secure as possible. But what I learned, because, you know, I had a plan to, you know, pursue my doctorate. I thought I was a corporate baddie. You know, I thought I was going to be that girl. Yeah. And then I remember when I was in I think my last year of grad school, I interned as a school counselor for a Catholic school. So already that was like a culture shock being in a Catholic school. This is a private school. I went to public school growing up. Yeah. And so to be in a private school, and then I'm not Catholic, so that was a whole element. And then it was a predominantly Hispanic or Latino community. And so although I was excited for the challenge, going to the same place every day, Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., wow.
Girl, say it.
Wow.
Again, for the people in the back.
I couldn't. It just like I felt my life force draining out of me. And it's like, it's hard because it's like you want to be excited for the kids. You want to be excited for the job because it's like, it's a rewarding job, you know, but the environment, being in this like cold concrete building, and just like I would just tell the kids like, want to go outside, like let's go like get some sun on our skin, you know, like let's shake up our system in that way, because it didn't serve me. Yeah, no, exactly. I wanted to tell them like, let's just get out of here.
No, for real.
But you know, they had to serve their time, because I know when I was a kid, I loved school. Yeah, I loved the structure of school. Yeah. It was once I became an adult and got into the work environment, I was like, oh, I can't do this,
because that's what they condition you to do. Yeah. Just listen, go to lunch, take your break, come back. You was gone for 12 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Clocking you know, all the things. But I mean, I think I was able to finesse school in a way where it worked to my liking, because I was a nerd. I loved being in clubs. I loved like the school side of it. You know, I soaked up every piece that I could. But work, going to doing that every single day, same office, same coworkers, that didn't jive with me as I got older. And so I was just like, oh, oops, I don't know how I'm gonna pursue my career if this doesn't work for me.
No, absolutely, because I started my office career really young. Like I did, got my little medical billing degree, got hired at 20 years old. Girl got fired at 26 for Power to the People, Malcolm X in there.
Come on, stand up.
And then went right back to the office, did it again. Like it is the same thing.
Yeah.
I shared a cubicle. They were so cheap. We shared a cubicle. No. Me and the cubicle.
That's close quarters.
That's close quarters, okay. Wow. I eat what you eat, Cindy. We eating.
Wow, yeah.
Girl, so I really felt that when you said like going to the same job every day. I worked at the same job and I celebrated my 5th year. They gave me a clock. with their name on it.
Oh, a clock.
And so when you said that, I'm just like, that's for the people. I know there's a lot of people out there that's going to be like,
yeah, I mean, I just feel like ultimately what I'm saying is like, get to know yourself.
Absolutely.
And do what works for you. You know, I feel like we all thrive with structure. So, you know, if you can provide it to yourself, then great. Some people aren't self-motivating. Some people aren't self-starters. So they need structure. They need somebody to tell them, you need to be at work at 8 o'clock. You go to lunch at 12:40.
Yeah.
You clock out at 5 p.m. or whatever. You know, like some people thrive with that. And so it's like just getting to know yourself, having the patience to get to know yourself, and never like committing to that idea of being stuck. I never committed to that. I was like, I have friends who so early were just like acting stuck. And I just was like, no, I think I'm doing things in a way where, I think I'm doing things in a way where if I need to pivot, I can.
Okay.
And I believe in the pivot.
Yes, but she believe in the pivot, you guys. So do you feel like you got judged? Like, so you say you have your friends that want to make sure they're good. Were they like, what are you going to do?
I wonder. I do wonder because I think it was so left field for me I was such a like just studious, and I was kind of quiet at the time. I was a different person. Like if you see the photos of, I was different, you know, I was a different, I was always this, but I wasn't this out loud. You know what I mean? And so I only shared so much of myself with people, and I only shared so much of myself with myself. You know, I locked a lot of myself away. For whatever reason. Life does it to you, you know.
Absolutely.
And so I think because I was definitely a type of person who, when I set a goal, I accomplished it. I don't think anyone necessarily was like, how's she gonna become a DJ? But I don't know if they thought I was gonna pursue it in the way that I ultimately have.
And did.
It's been 10 years now, guys.
Period.
It's been 10 years.
In 10 years. Okay. Celebrate for the 10 years. When was the first day?
The first, it was like May 2016.
Your first gig?
Not my first gig.
Okay.
I went into Guitar Center.
Okay.
And I just told the man who worked in the electronic and live music section, I said, I'm going to be a DJ. What do I buy?
Okay.
And he walked me around and he showed me different things. And so the beauty of Guitar Center is you can play with stuff. And so I probably was in there for maybe like an hour, played with different things, looked at prices, and was like, okay, well, I can afford the small one.
Right.
And then, because it was different pieces that I needed to get. So, I started off very small. So I would say May 2016 is when I probably purchased my first controller. And then I just went home and I cranked it. It was hearing like that loud bass and just hearing my favorite songs really, really loud and like being in control of that. That was infectious. I was like, oh yeah, I like this. And that was just me in my bedroom.
Okay.
And then I would say probably Labor Day of that year, I convinced one of my mother's friends to let me DJ her like backyard boogie. I'm like, I'll be there for hours. I don't care. Just let me be there. Like, and I was probably there from like 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Just back there, just taking requests and trying to manage all of it. I didn't know any DJs. Becoming a DJ was literally something that just came to my mind one day. And so I didn't know what I knew, didn't know what I didn't know. I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials.
Okay. That was my
And so I just, learned in real time because I knew that would work best for me, because I felt like if I just stayed in my bedroom trying to teach myself, I wasn't going to progress. And I had already done so much school. I didn't think I wanted to necessarily take DJ classes.
Okay.
And so I just was like, I'm going to just learn in real time. And so I would just tell people, like, if you need a DJ, just, let me know. And like my first setup was so funny. It was like not a setup you should take outside. It was like literally like I don't even know how to describe it, but it was not, you were not supposed to take that outdoors.
Was it still your first piece that you bought?
Yeah, my first piece, but I mean, even like the like speakers and all of that, it was very like, girl, you don't unplug that from out the wall, like leave that in there, like, but that's what I had. And I didn't know any different. But eventually, I was like, oh, okay, this is what I need, or I need to get this piece. And my dad helped me a lot, with figuring out like what different chords were, what different cables, and like what a mix board was, and when I would need certain things versus not needing certain things.
Okay, so you did have the support. So your family supported you even after, getting such an education.
Yeah. Because I don't know if they thought I was just having a mental crisis, because I was technically I was having a mental crisis, and I knew I needed to change my life. But I had been so focused and so accomplished up until that point. I think they knew like, okay, she needs something different right now. Okay. We're going to support her in whatever this is and whatever this becomes. And that's kind of how my family's always been, though. Like, no matter how big or small the win is, it's celebrated.
Okay. That's good to kind of have. You can kind of tell that, though, in your personality.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, because it does make a difference. It has made a difference in, how I celebrate myself and how I want to celebrate the people around me.
Absolutely.
I get that from my mom and my dad and my grandma, everybody. Yeah, my whole family. We're very like celebratory of each other.
That's good. Celebrate the small wins, big wins, because we winning.
We winning. Either way, we're winning. And even when you have to learn a lesson, it's still like, well, we can still come together and
that is a win,
figure this out. Yeah.
So, okay. So what was your relationship with music? So as a kid, because you've pivoted to a DJ and to teach yourself, girl.
Right. I always loved music. I was smart growing up, and for whatever reason in my elementary school, they were like, if you were really good with math, they pulled you out of the math class and made you take like this music test to see if you would be a good fit for music, because they say that's like a what do they call it? A correlation between like being good with math and then being good with music. And so I was in band from 3rd grade to 8th grade. And that was fun. I learned the clarinet, but I never liked to practice at home. So I was like, I'm not going to put in the effort to like take this to the next level. Like I was BSing my way through it.
Girl.
And I just always loved music. I always loved, I think because I didn't necessarily know how to verbally express myself growing up, I had a lot of feelings. I had a lot of thoughts. Like I was very mature for my age. And I didn't necessarily have anyone around me that I could bounce my ideas off with. So I think I was very quiet, but my music was kind of how I just like expressed myself. So I listened to a wide variety of music, and my parents, had very good taste in music. And so it was very important to them to share their music interests with us growing up.
Okay.
Yeah.
With us. So you have siblings?
Yeah, I have an older brother.
Okay, older brother. Hey.
Hi, Nicholas.
She used to say, I'm going to go get my brother? No,
I'm just playing. We didn't have that kind of relationship. Okay. But, he'd be like, I'm going to go get my sister. That's,
okay, period.
Okay. Little sister got him.
Okay, look, the bloom, 10 years. I didn't even, what have we known you for, like 2? What have we known you for, like 2,
I'm trying to think.
3? We are
Maybe we're on 3rd year.
I think we're on the 3rd year. We're honored to be a part of your 10-year journey of the DJ.
Yeah, I mean, it seems longer because I feel like in LA, so many people come and go.
And then so many people be like, so-and-so? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I hope so. If you're moving and grooving, that's a good. That's how you kind of know, like, okay, we moving and grooving.
Yeah, when it starts connecting, and then you realize you have, like, 10 people that you know.
You'd be like, Moonflower. Be like, Moonflower gonna be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Has there ever been any gigs that you've, like, declined, like, flat out just declined due to, like, beliefs or anything like that? Or?
Nothing that stands out at the top of my head. Like, I have, like, artists that I don't play. Like, I don't play R. Kelly.
Of course.
So that's like a hard no for me. And so one time I got booked to do a birthday party, and the birthday girl wanted to come out to R. Kelly. And I was like, well, it's a hard no for me. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to get a different DJ or if you're open to changing your song Cause I didn't want her to think like she had to change her song.
Absolutely.
Like, if you still rocking with him, more power to you.
You know what?
No judgment, but for me personally, it's not part of my legacy.
Okay.
But she was open to it, and she just changed her song. So I didn't have to turn it down. So
Right.
that was nice. I was
Right.
fortunate.
Cause she worth it, y'all.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the only time I have to turn a gig down really is because I'm already booked.
Of course, and that's a blessed.
Yeah.
A
blessing.
We're booked.
Blessing.
We're
Being
blessed.
booked. Yeah.
Yes, and then so you say you started 10 years ago. So how did you did you start in LA the whole time in LA or?
No, I was living in the Inland Empire at the time.
Okay.
So my first residency was at a hookah lounge in Ontario. So if you're familiar with the Inland Empire, Ontario was where I had this. It was this hookah lounge, and so every like Friday and Saturday. No, wait, no, I was at two because the hookah lounge was a chain. So there was on Friday nights. I think I was like in Ontario, and then on Saturdays I was in Glendora. So it was like far. I was driving far distances, but I knew I just wanted the practice because it's nothing like DJing with people in the room. Like you get to try to figure out how to work the crowd or like how to continue on a vibe. Because you can think you have great music taste, but if no one in the room cares about your particular music taste, then it's like, well, do you know how to provide the service of being a DJ? Because some people I think of like the artistry of being a DJ, and that's like, listen to how I put this together. And that's great. Maybe one day you'll get booked for a festival and you'll get paid those big raps. But if you're providing the service of being a DJ, you have to know different genres, different eras, all the different artists, the songs, what new songs are out that people really like, what old songs, now with the way old songs become trending, now you need to know what old song is now currently popping, so there's so many elements to it. And so although I did not enjoy the hookah, I do not like hookah. Oh my God, the worst headache you will ever have is after a hookah night. But I loved the experience. I think I did that for about a year. And then slowly out of that, I started doing like private events. And then that's when I got into the cannabis space. And then I got booked for all these like private cannabis events, or like a cannabis pop-up, or cannabis grand opening, like just all these just array of everything was about cannabis during 2018 to 2021. If you were in California during that time, everything was about cannabis at that time.
Okay, girl, everything.
So yeah, it was a lot of that. And so through that, doing like private events and stuff, I really just got to like get to know different crowds of people, and then hear what their favorite songs were, and like, oh, okay, so now I know like that's a song that will get the crowd moving because it got that crowd moving, and not every song hits in the same crowd, but it'll be like, because I did some wedding, I got exposed to like the beauty of the ABBA. And like some of us just know Dancing Queen, and it's like, oh, okay. But like to see how a dance floor lights up when you play certain songs, it's like, oh, I understand the song differently now, opposed to just knowing like, oh yeah, that's a classic. But seeing how it lights up a dance floor is like, oh, ooh, I like this. So it's fun exploring it and doing different gigs. Yeah.
What's your favorite gig that you've done in your 10 years?
Oh, well, oh, honey. I just
You could put tears. We could do narrow. We can narrow it down.
I just opened up for Lion Babe recently, and Lion Babe is one of my personal favorite artists of all times, because 10 years ago, the power of 10, something about 2016 was very pivotal to my journey, and so 10 years ago, Lion Babe dropped an album named Begin. And that's how I found them. And I listened to them so much. And then I took myself on a date to their concert. and saw them live, and I just love the fierceness of Jillian, the lead singer, like just how big and dramatic her hair would be, her outfits, and then her lyrics were so like positive and empowering. And I just was in a season of like getting to know what type of woman I am and like how feminine I am, but like I want to be fierce at the same time, and like just all that balance. And so a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure, they came to Los Angeles and I got to open for them. So I got to be in the room with them. I got to be on the same stage they were on. And so that just was really gratifying, because it's like you don't always know like where the journey's leading, you know? And the significance of like how powerful their music was before I even understood what DJing would do for my life was just like, oh wow, like this is the magic that they talk about. Like, you know, like
I don't give up.
I think sometimes people lose hope for that, and it's just like you got to have patience. You have to have patience, because there's going to be these really magical, delicious moments, and it's going to make it all worth it. And so that was definitely
okay. Well, that's top tier.
moment.
Yeah, that's top tier. That's top T right there, baby.
Yeah.
Well, congrats for that. That's just because I love them as well. Like I'm a little music head myself.
Yes,
and
I know you are.
yes,
baby.
you know me. I'm a know of an EP that dropped 2 years ago. They be like, "Have you heard?" I'd be looking at people like, always tell me, he'd be like, "Girl, you done missed your calling." Like, it's never too late.
It's never too no, it's never too late. And I
No,
think
just
that's
kidding.
what my journey speaks to, because you know, I got my master's degree in one thing and now I'm doing something else. And who's to say what my next chapter might be?
Exactly.
You know?
Would you ever have you ever taught DJing? Like, has anybody asked you like, "Hey, can you teach me?"
People have asked, and I think unbeknownst to myself, I sometimes become like a mentor in a sense, because I think although for a long time I felt like an amateur DJ, I wasn't an amateur in life. You know, I had a whole career already. And so I kind of just took that skill set and brought it to DJing. So I kind of just moved in a certain way where maybe it was audacity, maybe it was ignorance, because it would be like I was maybe DJing for 5 seconds, already emailing venues like, "Hey, can I book a night?"
Period. Just
you
go
know,
out and
just
do it,
because
yeah.
I researched like, well, how do you do this? You know, and I just tried to figure out the best way to expose myself to what I was trying to do in life. I was on a healing journey at that time, and I was just trying to find the magic in life, literally. I was just trying to figure out where are the people who are having fun? Where are the people who actually enjoy their life? And I was around a lot of miserable people, you know, a lot of people who were just letting time pass them by and not, you know, really taking life by their own hands. And so it's been a journey.
Do you still talk to any of those people? Like,
you know what? It's so funny. So I was looking at old graduation photos. So the day I got my master's degree, and I was looking at a very particular photo, and in that particular photo, I realized I don't talk to no one in that photo. And then there's another photo of just me and one friend. She's not in that photo, but she was there. And she's the only one I still talk to.
That's real.
And I was like, I don't know what the power of that was, but for some reason she knew not to be in that group. She knew not to get in that photo. And amen. Thank you.
Okay. A few of them don't make it, you know, or a few of them do make it. I meant to say,
or it ebbs and flows. Who knows? You know, I think time reveals that like sometimes you grow with people and sometimes you grow apart from people. And I haven't had anyone grow back to each other. I don't know if the vines, you know, will do that, but I am open to whatever God has for me, you know. And so, but I do think there is definitely space for removing people who, you know, maybe are only friends. Because I mean, a lot of my friends that I had were just friends I had from childhood.
Ooh, girl.
So it's like that geographical convenience. Like we grew up together, you know, and then when you become older and you like know yourself more, it's like, oh, well, I guess maybe, what do we really have in common other than like the memories we keep?
when
rehashing.
Because if you get on FaceTime and get to talking about Chelsea.
Oh my God!
Remember
junior high and
remember when they
not
fought?
Really anymore.
Like, no, I kind of
forgot.
I'm gonna tell you no. I'm gonna remember, and I'm still gonna say no.
I'm gonna be like, wait, who? Send me a picture.
Right, I'm not doing that. We're not encouraging that. So that's why I was asking you, because especially like the older you get, it's really a decision.
Yeah,
it really is a decision to keep those people. Like,
yeah.
This is not a TV One show. We are not going to be like, well, we grew up together. I literally did not leave my hometown until 6 years ago now. I moved here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Let them go.
Yeah, no, same. I mean, I stayed at home in my local town for a long time, and I definitely feel like it stifled me. You know, I know it held me back. I felt like I had to play it small so I wouldn't outgrow my people.
Oh, you feel bad.
Yeah, I'm like, I love these people. You know, you get to know how people are going to hurt you. And then it's like, hey, I'd rather deal with this. You know, the devil, hey, I'd rather have this than go outside and see what else monsters creeping around the corner, and so I clung very tightly to my people. And even though they weren't serving me anyway, I think once it finally clicked, like, no, you're not serving them in any way either, girl. What you thought you was the only one not being served? It was like the audacity for me to think like, oh, well, I mean, I'm their best friend, but I don't know how good they are to me. No, you're probably not that good of a friend to them either. If you're not feeling safe and you don't really feel like your best self, was I really doing my big one? Probably not the best. You know, I probably had some good moments, but I probably wasn't the absolute best I could be because I didn't feel the best. And so, hey, now I feel like I got like-minded and like-hearted people around me. Yes. And I think that's really, really important.
That's very important, because we really just don't have the time.
No.
This moment of silence. It was a moment of silence for the growth. We cannot
waste the time. And because I remember I used to have a friend, every time they would call, like, my heart would just sink, because it'd be like you never knew what they were going to say on the phone. And so many times it was a negative thing, and it was like, okay, I have to hold space for them.
I was just telling my husband, Unc, that. I was telling Unc, like, man, it is so crazy how I cut somebody off, I want to say 2 years ago, and I almost felt bad. And I'm mutually still friends with somebody in the group that I didn't know, and it popped up. She was there. And, and I just saw it. They were in a certain space, and it just validated me that I needed to move on.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's okay to move on.
Because they going to be right there.
It's okay. And I think it's best to try to move on when you start to feel that gut feeling, because I think sometimes we wait until we have to burn the bridge, until it's like lighted on fire.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way.
It's like, we don't always have to wait until we hate each other. Sometimes it's just like, hey, you know what, let's agree to disagree, or like, let's put a little distance between this, and maybe we'll flutter around each other a few times, and it'll be easier to have that pressure off. But we don't have to get like to the point where now we gotta have a talk. I can't stand when somebody needs to have a talk. Oh my God, why do we gotta have a talk, girl? Don't you know me now? Don't you know my heart? Like, we gotta have a talk.
Say it. I'm running to the hills to say it for you.
Like, no, girl. Whatever you need to have a talk about, yes. It's right.
Whatever you feel,
for sure. Exactly. And it's like, let's just move on, because it's like, when it gets to that point, it's not even worth it. Like real friends, you just talk. You hash it out. You get it out your chest. Yeah. Say it in the moment. I try to let people feel like they can give me feedback in real time. I want to be able to give feedback in real time, because I like accountability. Like, that's one of the things that I value in friendship. I think people have different tenets and things that they value in friendship, and I had to realize that, like, oh, like, you want a friend because they have a car, and you want a friend because she can get you into the club, and I want a friend who's gonna hold me accountable. So where's she at? Where he at? Where they at? Like, that's what I value a lot. And some people don't like that. And that's definitely something that I bring to the table. And so if you don't like it, I start to feel like a chaperone. I start to feel like a parent. And that's not fun to be around. And so
Because we're
I
not
feel
parents.
like now I'm more fun because I don't have to wear that hat.
Ooh, say that.
Yeah.
That's a word.
Yeah.
The word for
Yeah.
Moonflower, y'all. Don't make your friends be a chaperone.
No.
Don't make them wear that hat.
Please.
Mm-mm.
Act right.
Act right. That's going to be a whole song. Act right.
Yeah, act right. So we could just all have fun and have a good time.
I felt that. I really, really did. Especially because that's why I said earlier, like, it's a choice. And it is definitely your choice to just continue to maintain that misery.
Yeah, maintaining. And that's the thing. You don't realize
it's work
I'm
to maintain the
it.
misery.
I'm fostering this fire. I'm fanning it, or I'm feeding the beast. And my therapist, she helped me see one time. She said, like, well, you don't have to be an audience to the show. If you're not there, who are they going to do that to? In a sense, you know. And it's like, oh, you're right. I guess if I just stop answering the phone. Who she gonna complain to?
Right,
I don't know. Maybe she'll figure it out, you know. And it's like, when you put yourself in these positions, and it's like, girl, I didn't have to sign up for that role, but I did, and I just was dedicated.
And I say that, yeah. So everybody around you kind of, I really love that everybody around you kind of support your DJ, and you know me, I'm a reshare.
Yeah,
I see everybody on there.
You and the uncle have been so supportive, and that's why it's been so beautiful because, you know, like we said, in LA, it's very interesting. You know, people come and go because it's a big city where, you know, it's transient. You know, people move here for jobs and then they leave or whatever, and it's expensive to live here. So sometimes people come with one intention and it doesn't always pan out because, you know, life started lifing. And so a lot of people come and go, and it's really nice when you can meet someone and like know that like at some point in the year you're going to look up and you're going to see their face. You're going to get to hug them, or you'll get to work with them, you know, whatever, you know, it may be. And so it's been nice to just have that consistency with you guys.
Absolutely. I always appreciate you. We always try to make sure we pull up when we can.
Yeah, you do.
You know, when we say we the aunt and the uncle, we are the aunt and the uncle.
They like to claim that.
You know,
we
are the aunts and the uncle. Sometimes
you act like, oh,
you know, when the auntie pop out, we gon'.
But yeah. But when she literally walks through the door dancing, comes in dancing, and I'm like, girl. She was resting up, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta rest up. You can't tell you know no
because
time
when she's
on
there,
Moonflower.
she's gonna be on the dance floor the whole time. And it's like those, you know, for me as a DJ, it's like I really value a person like you because it's like that's what keeps us going. It's like, you know, you dancing to this song lets me know what song to play next. And then if that's still in the vibe, then I know what to play next. And then if I go one direction and you kind of slow down and sit down, then no, I want her. I want her to keep dancing. So I got to figure out a way to get her back on the dance floor. Like it's a science and a psychology to it. And so as a DJ, like I really appreciate your energy and what you bring to the table, darling.
Yeah, well, you know, you're stuck with us.
I like being stuck here.
Well, you know what? We need you to tell the people where they can come and see your face and where they can come get their dance on to the favorite song. Tell the people where they can
get your blessings. Well, you can always follow me on Instagram at Moonflower Vibes or DJ Moonflower. I have two accounts because you never know when you might get hacked.
Right.
You know,
Preparation.
stay ready. And then on TikTok at Moonflower Vibes. And then I have a website, moonflowervibes.com. SoundCloud, you know, I always upload mixes. And then, you know, I don't know when this is going to air, so I don't know what events to talk about, but I got all kinds of stuff coming up. Next week, I got all kinds of stuff coming up in June. June is Black Music Month, so we celebrate just the way that Black people have really contributed to genres of, you know, so many different eras. And it's Pride, and we have Juneteenth and all of that. So these are all things that are very special and sacred to me. So we outside, we dancing. So I just say, follow me on Instagram and look at my story, look at my feed. I do my due diligence and I put together a nice little graphic so you can see my dates. So like it, share it, and then click the links and RSVP.
Yes,
And
that's
then you'll
right.
find me.
That's how you promote yourself right there. She said, you going to come and find out.
Yes, come get your
Okay,
blessing.
she even said she was going to be here. So she's not lying.
Oh,
She
yeah. If
don't
you
lie.
go look on my page, this podcast is listed.
She don't play about that. Well, girl, I appreciate you again. Is there anybody else you want to shout out on here? Is there anything you want to tell the people? Tell the people about finding themselves and finding their moon?
Well, I have a poetry book that I self-published called Time Revealed to Me. And the reason why I named it Time Revealed to Me is just because I feel like some of us get married to the idea of a version of ourselves. And I just feel like we would all be much happier if we understood that over time, you will understand yourself in a multitude of different ways. And if you open yourself to the ebbs and flows of life, it maybe won't hurt so bad, but the lessons will be learned a little easier and the bounce back will come back a little sooner. And, just be open-minded. Be open-minded.
Period. Y'all heard it from her yourself. Make sure that you follow her. Make sure you're following the Aunt and the Uncle podcast. And make sure you like, share, subscribe. Put your favorite part of this podcast in the comments. Until next time, the Aunt.
Yep, that's me.